On the 10th of August, at 10:38 in the morning, the love of my life, Mary Britt, passed away due to a reaction to one of the drugs they were giving her for her cancer treatment. It was a shock to everyone who knew her. At 82, she looked, acted, and was healthier than most 40-year-olds. She took incredible care of herself. But in December of 2024, we were told she had something on one of her lungs. Then in January, we found out it was stage 4 cancer. We made the choice to go to what we thought was the best option we had to get her through that fight, that being MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas. Unfortunately, there was a reaction to one of the medications given, and Mary was not able to fight off the lethal side effects of that medication. We held a memorial in her honor on the 13th of September, a celebration in remembrance of the life of Mary. I videoed the event for those family and friends who were unable to attend the memorial. The sound is not great, but we can all hear and see what was said about the life of this wonderful woman. It's about 50 minutes long, and I've added a few pictures and video clips set to the song she wanted played at her memorial to help us all remember this incredible woman.
I want to say thank you guys for coming. It means the world. She was a cool lady, and we're going to miss her, but I want to celebrate her life. And I know a lot of you came from a long way, and your efforts are greatly appreciated. Everybody here she loved. So, hang on. I want to celebrate her life. She inspired a lot of us here, and her presence in our life was profound. When Mary was in the room, you kind of knew it. She had an incredible
neighborhood.
That's right. That's right. And so I want this to be a celebration. My heart's broken. To me, she's gone too soon, but she lived a great life, and she inspired a lot of people. And I just want to read some thoughts I put down on paper because that way I keep me on track. I got to thinking about what do I want to say, and I didn't want to go through the montage of her life from beginning to end. We've all been in different segments of that part of her life. But I wanted to talk about what she meant to me as her daughter. I really did practice this, and I didn't cry then. Okay.
All from the heart.
Yeah. She left her fingerprints all throughout my life. They were everywhere. I look back on my life with hers and my mother, and I've come to understand how many areas of my life she's touched. She defined her life on her own terms. She had a wonderful sense of humor and loved her family with her whole heart. She was a woman with a strong conviction and who faced life with courage, independence, self-respect, and strength. She gave me great insight into being a woman and what we bring to the world. I watched her suffer, cry, laugh, love, win, and find full enjoyment in the small and big moments of her life. I was given the space to develop my own life, but she was always watching and was there when I truly needed her. When I was born, she was just a kid, and we kind of grew up together in some ways. We had trials and tribulations. She wasn't always easy, but neither was I. When I was young, we moved to Stephenville, Texas, where we lived on a beautiful piece of property that provided 2 little girls with so much to do. I can remember coming home from school to find her up on a ladder painting the trim of the house, or her head in the bathtub, painting it because she hated the color. Many times I can remember her on a tractor building brush fires and carrying a gun on her hip so she could shoot the snakes. She always had a project of some kind going on. Mom always wanted my sister and I to be independent, to be able to think for ourselves, and she definitely accomplished that. As I grew older and became a mom myself, my insight into her as a woman and my understanding of her grew. As the years went by, life happened. Marriages, kids, divorce, and careers. She was always there to listen and offer much needed wisdom on how to navigate the uncertainty of life going forward. Her wisdom came from her own experiences and mistakes. Her approach was always with self-determination and a sense of purpose. A strong drive to be the best she could be drove her. The constant pursuit to learn and enjoy life left her with an example that through it all, with the trials and tribulations of life, you too can make your life happy, healthy, and worth showing your children that life is truly and constantly is in motion, and that we are always learning how to be the best that we can be. I heard her say so many times, our biggest job in life is to survive ourselves. She was incredibly smart and read people well. She had a softness and an incredible femininity that some people missed if they didn't get to know her. She was a fighter, like no one I have ever seen. She always felt that giving the time and effort, she could accomplish anything. She was my core person. She was a mom, but in my grown-up years, she was also my friend. She was someone you could confide in. She loved you regardless of your faults. If someone hurt you, she was there to help you right the ship. And one particular time, so I was pregnant with Reagan, and I had 2 other small.
I was giving her a run for her money.
And my then husband and I weren't doing that great, and I was home pregnant with Reagan, with 2 small kids, and I was taking care of the house, the yard, and it was a lot. Well, Mom flew out. And she sat and talked. We talked and drank coffee in the morning. She helped me with the kids. And well, our talking kind of started concocting a plan.
Where you stole the car?
You see, my then husband had a car out front that he just loved. The tags were out, he had no insurance, and it was paid for. With a flat tire, it sat out front for several months. Mom asked me one day, what's the deal with the car? I told her she got a twinkle in her eyes, and the plan began to take shape.
You're gonna tell the whole story, right?
Yes. We decided that, what if the car went missing? Oh, we would laugh. It was so funny. We just thought, oh my gosh, how did we get that car to go missing? He loves that car. He would be so mad. Made it even better.
Yeah.
Where could we put the car? So we started thinking, okay, so where are we going to put the car? And how do we get the flat tire fixed? The other problem was I didn't have a key. Well, we figured out we could rent a storage building, fix a flat, but the key part was a little tougher. So we decided to call the dealership and see if maybe they could, make a new key for us. Well, as luck would have it, being pregnant has its perks. After telling them a sad story how my husband was out of town and I lost the key and how upset he'd be when he got home that I didn't have the keys, we were in business. I drove the car with the tags out of date. She followed close behind, and we left for the storage building I had rented. Now, no cars are allowed in storage buildings. And before cameras were everywhere, I rented one in the back. When we got there, when we got there, I backed it in, the car wouldn't fit. Oh, crap. So Mom's waiting in the getaway car over there, and I run my little pregnant self back down to the office and go, oh, I need a bigger storage building. And they gave me another storage building. It was a completely harrowing experience. Mom was waiting close by. I closed the door, put the lock on, and ran to get in my getaway car with Mom. We drove out of the storage parking lot and broke out laughing. We laughed all the way back to my house. We couldn't stop laughing. After we'd been home and were cleaning up the kitchen, Mom said, Stacy, I know a guy with a chop shop.
Oh, that would be me.
The fact that she knows this.
Exactly. We both bust out laughing. Just one of the many stories about her.
Tell what happened when you got back and was driving the car.
We'll leave that one. Of course,
That's
it wasn't
the one
this one. In the hospital before she passed, I asked her one day how long it took her to get over her mom passing. She said never. She said, I never did. Well, Mom, I will miss you forever.
We all will.
Good job,
You go middle next?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really big loss for not being here. I know we all feel that. Mimi, and I'm her granddaughter. Doesn't know that. Mimi, it's tough to put into words how grateful I am for the relationship we had and still have today. Trying to sum up how special you are to me into a few paragraphs feels impossible. I miss you so deeply. Grief is a funny thing. 1 minute the acceptance of it all feels overwhelming, and the next it feels like any moment she's going to walk through that door and say, well, hey there! And she would always say,
It's so true.
hey there! I can still hear it.
Like, what are you doing?
What's everyone crying for?
Well, isn't that pretty? I remember sitting next to you in your hospital bed the night before you crossed, looking out the window thinking, this woman is just so special. Truly remarkable, one of a kind, and how is it that the whole world out there doesn't know about her? How lucky of those of us in this room are to know her. I wrote you a letter that night about how a part of me felt like it was dying with you, feeling such deep pain in the realization of that loss, the loss of you and what that all meant. And it really gave me a chance to reflect on all the things she taught me about life and about womanhood and being a woman. And it's so rare, I think, to be a young woman and be so close with your grandmother. And it just was such a gift to me, all the time we spent together. So this is really a thank you letter to her, and I'm going to read through that, and really a thank you of the actions that she took in her life to give me. I'm really a beneficiary of all the hard work that she put into her life. And you know what that meant to me. And then I'll talk through just some of the things that she taught me as a woman. And she taught me about life, and kind of ended with what I'm still learning from her. Even after her passing, I couldn't have imagined that I'm still learning. She's still teaching me things, and she's still with me. I've always heard people say that, you know, when someone passes, they're with you.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how true that is. And this is the first time in my life I've ever had someone I'm really close with pass. So this is a new experience for me. So Mimi and I first got close, so I was 11. And my mom was going through a divorce, and it was a really hard time on her family. And she sent me to stay for 6 weeks with Mimi and Encinitas. And when I look back on it, I actually asked her today, and I asked, was I apprehensive? Did I want to go? Did I not want to go? And she was like, well, you were a little unsure. You didn't want to leave me, but you got excited. And if I know Mimi, so she just recently met Granddad. They were together for like maybe a year, so she's in this new love, this new relationship, and she's got this 11-year-old coming to like cramp her style. And like at that time, she had style. Like she was rollerblading and biking and like doing all the things, boogie boarding. I mean, it wasn't
true.
It wasn't just at home
I
baking
went to
cookies.
Brownwood, okay?
I got it way better than you.
And I had rough sheets.
I had it way better.
Boogie boarding sounds a lot more
Better than what
fun.
I went through. But I was more behaved at that time, so I got the better end of the deal. But I couldn't have known how much Mimi and I would just click. We were just such kindred spirits, and we really, truly just clicked. It was such an incredible summer that I got to spend with her. And I'll go through some of the things she taught me at that time. But what I didn't know was we would eventually move to Lufkin. And that seemed like the worst thing that could have ever happened to a 12-year-old who was living in Miami at the time. But her, you know, all of you in this room know that she was incredibly self-made. Her mother passed when she was just 20. And she really didn't have a woman to look up to. She had really formative years of her life, and she had to figure a lot out. And so for her to eventually get sober, move to Encinitas, start her life over, and then make the decision to meet Granddad, and someone like Granddad, who's an incredible example of a man. Those decisions and what that did to change my life. It brought if they wouldn't have met, we wouldn't have moved to Lufkin. My mom wouldn't have met Vince, who is an incredible man, and given me an opportunity to see a beautiful marriage with my grandmother and my mother. And I could never thank her enough for that. And what that did for me in my life. So thank you, Mimi. Which, by the way, I have the letter that she wrote. So Mimi, 2 months before she met Granddad, she wrote down very specific all the things she was looking for in a man. And I have that, and I've
What happened?
Skylar.
What happened?
She met Oh. Well, she just still teaching me things. I found that after she passed, she's still teaching me. She's still showing me and teaching me, and she's just yeah. So that's kind of a thank you to all the hard work she put in before I really understood what a beneficiary I would be of all of that. And then, so I'm going to go through just some things she taught me specifically about being a woman and life. So you taught me that life isn't just about answering questions about life and ourselves. It's about knowing the right questions to ask. I'll never forget her telling me that. What the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
But it's really true. It's the right questions. And you said this in your letter, but the most important job you have in life is to face yourself. And that's changed my life. You taught me to take full responsibility for my life. The summer that I went to spend with her, maybe I was there a few weeks, and I walked in to where she was working at her desk, and I said, oh, Amy, I'm kind of bored. She goes, without even hesitation, no hesitating. Oh, well, you just must be a boring person. My mouth was agape. I was like 11. What? You have to be. You have all these things. What do you mean you're bored? Figure it out. And I've never. Number one, I've never been bored since. And it really taught me to take responsibility for my own self, and that's changed my life so much. You taught me the importance of mental toughness. What I believe and tell myself matters. You taught me that I can do hard things if I believe I can. I have another distinct memory of biking on the beach with them that summer. And her and Granddad are in amazing shape.
Yeah.
We're biking on the beach. I don't even bike on sand. Yeah. It's hard. And they're way ahead of me. And I'm going, oh my God, this is hard. I go, Mimi, this is hard. And I can remember her yelling, no, it's not. It's easy. Just
Wait,
tell
you're
yourself
11?
it's easy. I was 11.
Okay.
Just tell yourself it's easy and it'll be easy. I'm like,
I have a caveat to that story. I have one of my own stories.
okay. You can share that. But yeah, just reminding me that what we tell ourselves matters. If I sat there and told myself, this is hard. She said, no, it's not, it's easy. Tell yourself it's easy. And in my 20s, she would remind me, there's something I was working through to say, this will come to me easily, effortlessly, without struggle. And I still say that to myself. She was also intentional teaching me the gift of grit. So starting my business a couple years ago was a really, really hard experience. And I remember calling her saying, no one thinks I can do it. My mom doesn't, Vince told me to get back to work. No one thinks I can do this. This is hard. And she really reminded me, you can do this, just prove them wrong. And not that long ago, my mom and I were talking, and it was, again, a very hard time in my life. And she told my mom, don't you dare save her. Don't you save her. What she's doing is good for her. Don't save her. And she was so intentional in her motherhood and the matriarch of our family. She was so intentional in developing me in that way. And I'm just very, very appreciative of that. You taught me to accept myself. There are ways I'm like my mom, but there are many ways that I'm so very kindred with you. I think we could all agree that Mimi could light up a room with her grace, beauty, intellect just as fast as she could burn it to the ground with her fire.
Listen, God's up there right now. Like, whoa. Let me sit down, okay? You got the floor.
And I spent a lot of time in my 20s feeling like I shouldn't take up so much space. And the summers I would go spend with them on Pummel, all the hours we'd spend on the beach talking, and she really taught me to embrace myself and my intensity. I'm so grateful for that. If used appropriately. You taught me to look around, you taught me to look around me, notice the small things, the way something feels, the deepness of a color, the brightness of a flower. You noticed and saw the world, and it taught me to find delight in the same. And I'm so grateful for that. I take my dogs on walks, and I see the world. I see how pretty a color is, how how beautiful sunrises, and she embraced that, and I think that's so special, and really taught me that. You taught me to love and value myself. I remember calling you feeling sad about a boyfriend and a relationship, and I called her and was sad and telling her what was going on. She was abhorred. She was just like, again, just without even thinking, how could you love someone who doesn't love and cherish you? Like, that was just the craziest thing she'd ever heard. And I will never forget that moment, and I just thought, I knew that, but her telling me that really changed how I saw myself and how I saw the situation. And it was really impactful and really powerful. I'm so grateful for that. You taught me that age really is just a number. Your beauty, vitality, and mental acuity just astounded me. You, in your 80s, were the one who got me interested in using AI. I called her. She told me about the lawsuit that they were in. She goes, well, I'm using Grok, and I'm using ChatGPT, and I'm working. And I hadn't even started using Grok or ChatGPT at that point. It was incredible to me that someone in their 80s knew how to do that. Spending time with you are some of the most special and cherished memories of my life. And I think probably one of the biggest ones, and I didn't know it at the time, is in her passing. My relationship with my mom and I over the last few years has sometimes been challenging. And the respect and admiration I have for my mom, for watching her hold Mimi in her last moments, I will never be able to put into words how incredible and how much of an honor it was to be there with you and to be there with her. Truly. And I've always respected you, but my respect for you it's changed. Our relationship has changed. And Mimi really gave us that in her passing. And I think that's beautiful. And what I didn't realize at that moment or during that experience and would be, it felt like such an ending, and it is an ending. It's a new beginning to Mimi's life and to how she touches our lives now. But I didn't know that all of her wisdom and her teachings would continue to influence me. After she passed, I went over to Granddad's and I sat on the floor and I've got all her books out and was reading, and I'm finding books where she highlighted really beautiful things, and she's still teaching me. And I just find that really, really incredible and really powerful. And she's just was an incredible woman, and I feel so grateful to have had her in my life. She's helped me become the woman I am today.
So I am Judy, and I'm Stretch's little sister, but he's always been Darwin. Their life together and how great it was, and how much we loved marriage. And so I just wrote a few thoughts down. It says, tell me, what is it like in heaven? Is it as peaceful as they say? Does the sun always shine bright? Do the birds sing? I'm glad your pain has gone away, but here on earth it feels like something so good is missing. For those of us left behind, everything is different. There's an emptiness and disbelief. I bet it's sunrise up in heaven since you've arrived, and more lively for sure. Tell me what you do in heaven. I hope you're dancing in the sky. I'm sure your days are filled with love and light. I think about that first embrace with your mom. Once again, feeling her arms around you. And I can almost hear your laughter and feel your joy with being reunited with her. Is there music? Is there art? Is there invention in heaven? I hope you're singing with the angels, and I hope they realize the special gift that you are to them. Tell me, are you happy? Because here on earth it feels a bit empty without your bigger-than-life personality. Heaven seems so far, but I know it's only a heartbeat away. Such sweet memories of times gone by. Until we meet again, I will cherish the time we had together and laugh when I reflect on your humor and all the day you wore your sassy pants. I love you, Mary. And
That's
I love you, Mary, and I love you, and Stretch we're together. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, that was so sweet.
So I don't have anything written down. It's all memory.
Just talk till you think of something to say.
Don't do that.
So, no, I will do that. Me and Mimi had an interesting relationship. Mimi was a beautiful person. You know, Mimi, she was strong. She was very strong. And so, I will start, I want to tell Mimi about, you know, as a kid, I was hard. And so I have a vivid memory of Mimi. And I was a very determined little kid. And I remember Mimi, and she was very much into rollerblading. And she had nice rollerblades. Okay, like the ones that like cruise real, you know. I had plastic ones that you strap to your shoe. And she wanted to go on her regular road. She came to visit us in Miami, and she wanted to go on her route for her rollerblading. Well, I wanted to go too. And so she was, you can't do it, kid. I said, yes, I can. Okay. So I think, you know, how she, you know, I heard Reagan say, you know, these inspiring things for Reagan as a woman. I think she looked at me as a man and said, but you better step it up. And boy, did I step it up. Man, those wheels were, we had to get new rollerblades by the time we got home. What I will say about Mimi is her grit and her grace and her love for her family was above all. And, you know, I actually wish I would have been closer with Mimi, you know. But I respect her. And she was an amazing woman.
Yes.
And that little experience I had with her kind of had a little part of my shaping of life. I will say that for sure. Because it was kind of like, buddy, you know what? Life's hard. And, you know, and I think I even surprised her. She said, this little shit made it all right.
She did, that's right, Forrest.
But you know, it was a lesson learned, and even if it wasn't even intentional, it was still a lesson learned, and I really appreciate the person she was, and she'll be great. Oh, listen, we had those things apart. They're all laid up. We had those little plastic glues. Remember those things you like tie on your shoes? And we went like 2 miles. Okay? And I was probably like 7. Okay? Oh, I did it. She kept telling me, go back home. I said, no.
Of course she said no.
Of course I said no. I said, lady, you watch, okay?
Most Reagan, my tribute to her. I couldn't even write it without crying. And so I spent several days putting my thoughts onto a recording, and I made just a short video to start something I made for her on her 19th anniversary. And then I had some thoughts about my life with her. So I'd like to play that. And when it's over, I'll try to give a couple of closing thoughts. On the 28th of June, 2000, I met the most incredible woman in the world. She came bounding into my life and changed everything. 19 years ago today, the 27th of October, we became husband and wife. I fell in love with her and realized that she was the one that I was meant to spend my life with. I could see it in her eyes. I could feel it in my heart. She is the most incredible woman I have ever known. The day I met her, I found the missing piece. She completes me and makes me a better person. I was a little late to be her first, but I want all of my lasts to be with her. I wish I could turn back the clock and found her sooner and loved her longer, but I'm grateful for the time we've been given. Sometimes it's hard to find the words to tell her how much she means to me, but if I did anything right in my life, it was when I gave my hand and my heart to her. She's the love of my life, my best friend, my soulmate, my everything. Just like wine gets sweeter as it gets older, she keeps getting more beautiful with age, and I fall a little more in love with her with every passing day. As we head into the next phase of our lives together, the sweet anticipation of facing those days together, I know that we as a couple will be able to weather any storm, and with each passing day we will fall deeper and deeper in love. Here's to many, many more years, new friends, new life adventures, new sunrises and sunsets together on the beach, remembering the good life we've had together. I love you, sweetheart, and always will. "5 years ago, I made that video for Mary on our 19th anniversary. Dreaming of the many years we still had ahead, little did I know our time would be cut so painfully short. Today we come together to celebrate the beautiful life of my beloved Mary, a woman whose love, laughter, and radiant spirit left an indelible mark on us all. My heart aches as I stand here, but it is also filled with gratitude for the nearly 24 years I was privileged to share with her as her husband. When we learned in December that something was found on her lung, it felt like a train had crashed into our world. Then in January, the devastating news that it was stage 4 cancer. It destroyed my world. The tears I've shed since that day are immeasurable, and there's no end in sight. We both clung to hope that modern medicine would grant us more years, but that was not meant to be. Mary was the most incredible person I've ever known. To be her husband was an honor and a blessing beyond words. Being welcomed into her family, who have stood by me through this devastating loss, has been one of the greatest joys of my life. A very special thank you to Stacy, Sean, Reagan, and Vince. The love and support are helping me navigate this unbearable grief. I want to thank my sister Judy for coming to Texas to be with me and give me strength. She has been through her own tragic loss, and her insight into this kind of grief has truly been a blessing. To our family and friends, thank you for enriching our lives with your presence. Over the past 25 years, you've given us memories we will cherish forever. Mary's infectious laugh and radiant smile could light up a room, making everyone around her feel loved and uplifted. Each of us is better for having known her, none more so than myself. When I met Mary, I found my life's purpose, that to be worthy of her extraordinary love. Meeting her transformed my life, and my greatest ambition was to make her happy. When we met, we both knew without a doubt we had both finally found our soulmate, and we have been side by side ever since. To the many family and friends that wanted to be here but were unable to join us here today, thank you for your loving support, and I want to let you know we all feel your spirits here with us. Our life together was a joyous adventure. Moving from California to Texas and buying Stonewood was just the beginning of an incredible journey. The lives of many people have been made better because of that move. Before we moved, we purchased a little property in Leucadia, California, a block and a half from the ocean. It was our beach bungalow. For years, we split our time between Lufkin and California, pouring love into that home. When it was complete, it was a source of pride and a place where we welcomed family and friends with open hearts. In 2017, a diving trip to Mexico led us to Palmul, a hidden paradise. We sold our bungalow, and I built a plopper for Mary, designed just for her, blending the Southwest style of Santa Fe she loved so much with the tropical beauty of the jungle. A minute's walk from the Caribbean Sea, it became our sanctuary. We spent many seasons there, building close friendships and creating unforgettable memories on those white sandy beaches. In the weeks before Mary moved on to the next chapter of her eternal life, we spoke of how we wanted to make our lives memorable and be united in our final act together. We decided that when my life here is complete, our ashes will be combined and scattered on the ocean off Encinitas, California, where we met, fell in love, and became man and wife. We chose sunset on October 27th, our anniversary, to honor the happiest day of our lives in 2001. Mary always said, true love is when one spirit lives in two bodies, and I believe we proved that to be true. On that day, we will be reunited as husband and wife, as it was always meant to be. Mary's legacy lives on in every laugh we shared, every adventure we took, and every moment of love she gave so freely. Let us honor her by living with the same joy, kindness, and courage she embodied. My sweet Mary, you will always be my heart's home and the heartbeat of my life. Thank you for the love, the laughter, and the life we built together. In wishing you a fond farewell for now, I will always be your husband, your soulmate, and you will always be the love of my life. Thank you. Mary was the most incredible woman I've ever met, the most incredible person I've ever met. And to have been her husband for 24 years has truly been the greatest gift I've ever been given. And to be accepted as a part of her family and her friends is the joy that can't be expressed. And she was a person that was happy, joyous, saw the good in life and saw the good in people. And she wanted everybody to have that same love of life. And so, as this is a celebration of her life, I think it's important that we all remember her for the incredible woman that she was, and for all that she gave to each of us, and how she made each of us better people. Thank you for coming.
So I just have a poem that I wanted to share. She's in the sun, the wind, the rain. She's in the air you breathe with every breath you take.
She sings a song of hope and cheer. There's no more pain, no more fear. You'll see her in the clouds above, hear her whisper words of love. To each of you, from Mary, to all of us. She's with us.
Yes.
Never forget.
Thank you. Thank you,
Oh,
Sandy. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Way up high, and the